Oh, we got some wild breaking news tonight on the escaped convict and his prison guard lover. More on the Whites. They are in custody. As of this moment, they are both still alive after a police and U.S. Marshal pursuit in the great state of Indiana. The details only getting crazier, and I'm going to have that in just a little bit. First up, intimidation and threats of violence. This, of course, the far left's playbook as liberals target conservatives over Roe v. Wade. But pro-life activists and politicians say it's not going to work. This is the scene of an arson attack on the Wisconsin Family Action headquarters in Madison. Police say somebody threw Molotov cocktails at the office early yesterday morning. Fortunately, nobody was hurt, but outside, on the wall, somebody scrawled, "If abortions aren't safe, then you aren't either." So convincing and rational. So if that's not a threat, I'm not sure what is. And then the intimidation. Take a look at the scene last night outside the home of Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Watch this. Right outside the home of a sitting Supreme Court justice. And another protest scheduled tonight at the home of Justice Samuel Alito. He's now reportedly at an undisclosed location. As you remember, his Roe v. Wade opinion draft leaked last week. So how do we get to this point? Is this just how it's going to be when everyone's mad and their feelings get hurt and they disagree with something? Could it be because of past speeches like this from Senate Majority Leader Chuckles McGillicuddy? Watch.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
Reap the whirlwind, pay the price. Strong words from a U.S. senator. And today, a reporter asked White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki what the administration is doing to cool things down.
Does the president plan to condemn the leak of the Supreme Court draft opinion or the doxing of the justices now that we've seen violence unfold?
Well, I would say that we have been clear, and the president's position has long been that we should not see protest that takes the form of violence, that takes the form of vandalism, and that threatens anyone. We have not seen violence or vandalism against Supreme Court justices. We have seen it at Catholic churches. That's unacceptable. The president does not support that. We have seen it at some conservative organizations. That we don't support that.
How long are you going to wait till you condemn things? Oh, you'll just wait till you're at MSNBC with that lucrative contract. Got it. So are these protests a sign of potential violence to come? Hopefully not. But let's meet tonight's party panel and discuss. We've got Washington Times opinion editor Charlie Hurt is here, along with Democrat strategist, former Biden campaign surrogate, and the human embodiment of spring, Kevin Walling is here. And we've got it. Yes, I do. We've got the Cato Institute's Director of Constitutional Studies, A Perfect Night, made for Ilya Shapiro. Welcome, man panel, gentlemen. Great to talk to you. So, Charlie, this is a very predictable reaction. However, if this were a liberal case opinion draft that had leaked and there were conservative protesters targeting liberal justices' homes, wouldn't it be called an insurrection?
Yeah, and actually, I think maybe we're doing it wrong because we're not calling it an insurrection. And in fact, I think we should call the original leak itself. And I say this not knowing who it was exactly who leaked it. I have my suspicions in terms of who they worked for anyway. But we don't know. But I would say that that was an insurrection. And I would like to see Congress put together a May 2 commission to investigate who it was that leaked this. But of course, this stuff that we're seeing right here is beyond all this. This is aiding and abetting of this nonsense from the White House refusing to condemn this kind of behavior. It is illegal. It is illegal to try to intimidate sitting justices. It's the same as jury tampering.
Yeah.
It's illegal. It's flatly illegal. And the idea that the White House seems to have such a hard time just simply condemning it tells you about all you need to know about them, I think.
Yeah, they're trying to scare them, it seems, Kevin, into changing their vote and opinions in this abortion case. And this is not how things should be done. And we're constantly being told elections have consequences. And, you know, this is one of the consequences, at least with the presidency, that the Supreme Court will swing one way or the other.
Yeah, Kennedy, listen, I'm all for peaceful protests. What we're seeing is not the case, especially with this bombing in Wisconsin. And we've seen this kind of attack, this kind of political violence on both sides, going back to the history of Roe versus Wade. Bombings at abortion clinics, murders of doctors that perform abortions, the kind of Molotov attack that we saw in Wisconsin on the other side is completely wrong and un-American. There's a time and place for protesting. It is not at the justices' homes. It's not at any judge's homes. It's at the Supreme Court on those steps. It's in front of the White House and it's in front of Congress. That's where this kind of debate should take place, not in people's homes, not in terms of threatening violence and any kind of that kind of activity, especially towards justices and their families.
Yes, of course. And, we're talking about younger justices who have young children at home, Ilya, and it's very obvious what is happening. And this is a fascist tactic that is meant to change behavior and outcomes. How do you find all of this?
Yeah, look, I'm taking the controversial position of being against mob rule in all its forms, whether it's January 6th, whether it's protesting the justices. I believe in the rule of law. I believe in civil discourse. And, have your protests, make them completely peaceful, not quote unquote mostly peaceful, at the public locations and so forth. And that's exercising your First Amendment rights. But just because a legal decision might be going against you is no justification for breaking with all of that. And it's kind of ironic, I find, that the people who most seem to bemoan the loss of norms are those who are justifying, there's a Georgetown law professor today was tweeting, justifying going up to the justices' houses as long as you're short of actually, I guess, throwing Molotov cocktails at them.
Yes, but I guess I wouldn't have a problem with that if this were a free speech absolutist. We've heard that phrase bandied about in recent weeks. But if it were the exact same behavior, targeting someone that law professor was politically and philosophically aligned with, they would have an issue with it. And that's the great imbalance in this country. What's wrong for my side does not make it okay for your side. And we are so far adrift from the golden rule, how we should be operating. Treat others as you want to be treated in all realms. Not just in Christendom.
And it should be clear that golden rule isn't Christian, isn't required to be tied to any faith tradition. It predates all of that. And I think that's right. We're losing that in our society, and we're seeing our political enemies as just evil rather than merely wrong. There's really been a loss of grace in our society.
Yes, that's a good point. And it's also the death of curiosity. And, when you get to that point, all bets are off. And that's not a good place to be. Don't worry. Man Panel will get them back where they need to be. Man Panel returns in just a